look alike, but they're two separate herbs, and I'm going to share with you what I'm working on today. It's such a very cool and beautiful day, so that means it's going to be spent outside. Yesterday I spent the day with my grandchildren, and the days before that it was so hot and muggy, it was really hard to get outside to do your chores. But today is picking some herbs. Right now we have some chamomile that, as you've seen, I did a video earlier about it. And this chamomile is dry, so we're going to take the flower heads off the chamomile. And today I'm going to put some chamomile and some olive oil so we can have that going for about a couple weeks, and then I can make some good sleepy time salve like I did in other videos in other years. You know, every year I pretty much do the same thing in the same seasons of life. You know, in June I make a lot of salves with herbs, and in July is when my cucumbers and green beans and all of that wonderful goodness is ready to be harvested. I share with you today feverfew. Now feverfew is right behind me. This is feverfew and this is chamomile. They look like the same flower, but they're totally different. So I'm going to show you with feverfew what we're going to do, and you want to always make sure you label your herbs, and make sure when you dry your herbs you label them, because you surely don't want to put feverfew in something that you have chamomile in. So chamomile, like I showed you in other videos, chamomile helps you fall asleep. Chamomile is a nervine which makes you calm. If you have a lot of distress in your life, a chamomile tea can help settle your nerves. Chamomile is very soothing, and it's very mild. Feverfew is the opposite. Feverfew, if you have a headache or you have high pain, feverfew, the leaves can actually help you with migraine headaches. Feverfew is something that is a bitter herb. Feverfew you have to be really careful with. You don't want to drink a whole lot of feverfew tea if you don't need it. But feverfew is great for pain management. And so while these herbs are beautiful, they have two separate things. So this one is for soothing and comfort, and this one is for pain management. But we're going to start picking all of these flowers, and I can get them drying so I can make some salve in the weeks to come ahead. All right, so I have the feverfew up on my porch. Now, a lot of people ask me questions about the herbs. 99.9% of my herbs come up every single year. So once you plant them once, they reseed. The feverfew will come up every year. And with the feverfew, the same with the chamomile, you want to take the flower heads off, and that's what you want to dry. And the feverfew, you can make a tea with it for if you have headaches. Basically, feverfew is really good for migraine headaches. You can also chew on a leaf. If you have a really bad migraine headache and it's the summertime, you can actually chew on the leaf. But feverfew, I wouldn't recommend you just drinking it all the time, but it does help a lot of people who have hormonal headaches or migraine headaches. So all we do is cut the little heads off of the flowers, and it'll reflower over and over again. One thing about herbs is you want to cut your herbs, because the more you cut them, the more they'll grow and the more they'll give you. When these flowers go to seed, you know, then they stop growing, they stop producing. That's why you want to keep cutting them. Back in March, you saw me planting more and more of the chamomile, because chamomile is just so amazing. It just smells so good. It's so pretty. Even if you don't make anything out of it, it's just so pretty to grow. And I'll actually pick this so there's no flowers left. Chamomile has a beautiful apple smell. So if you want to know the distinct difference between chamomile and feverfew is, chamomile has a beautiful apple scent, while feverfew has a very pungent smell. How pretty is that? All right, I'm gonna go and pick a lot of this because it's gonna take me about an hour, and I'll get back to you when it's finished. I want your chamomile to reseed itself. You want to make sure you leave a couple flowers on so they can drop the seeds and reseed itself for next year. That's really important. That's why I have so much of it growing in my garden, because it did reseed itself too. Because of the flowers are so delicate, we're going to take some packaging paper and we're gonna line the bottom of our plastic. We're gonna line the bottom of our paper. We're gonna line the bottom of our basket. And we're gonna label it. So this is chamomile. All right. We're gonna go ahead. And I don't just cut the flower heads off. I just dry the whole herb. It's easier for me this way. And you can layer it pretty thick. I use this kind of stuff for making salves and lotions. I don't really drink a lot of tea, but if you were going to use it strictly just for tea, you probably want to take the heads off of it. But for me, this is how I do it. It's easy, it's quick. So that is the dried chamomile, and that's what it looks like. All right, so here is our fabric softener, and this has been steeping for about 8 weeks. Lavender buds with vinegar. As you can see, the lavender's turned white. That means it's finished. So we're going to strain it through this cloth. And it's going to have a pretty color when we're finished. And there is our lavender fabric softener. 1 tablespoon per load, and this will last us for a long time. All right, so this is called our Heal All salve. So it is Heal All herb and all kinds of roses. It has all kinds of healing properties: chamomile, calendula, lavender, all kinds of things that will help you if you have a cut or a scratch or something like that. It's supposed to kill germs and heal any abrasions. Now, it's the same with every time I make salve. It's equal parts of oil and equal parts of beeswax. How pretty is that? So we're just gonna let it soak through. So I hope you liked this video, and I hope I taught you a little bit about chamomile and about feverfew, and what the two herbs, although they look alike, they're totally different. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you plant some feverfew and some chamomile in your own garden. I'm constantly being reminded that some people are accidentally being unsubscribed from my channel. Can you please look below and make sure you're still subscribed? Thank you so much. It does make a huge difference. See you guys tomorrow.